Okay, today we're going to be looking at IB Math, and in particular, the IB Math of Applications and Interpretations Higher Level. Now, there are 4 different IB Maths, and so be careful. This one is AIHL, and this class is actually the least popular. But we still have some students who are in it, and the students in this class are able to use the calculator for every exam. So in this class, they get to use the calculator for everything, so it's a big part of what they do. Now, as we come in here into textbooks and syllabus, we have our textbook, which is really good. And then I have some other copies here because I like to open multiple copies. When I'm doing problems with a student, maybe if they're a student who's just started or they're not so good at the math, a lot of times what I do is I go through and we do like some of these example problems together, and then maybe they have to do these exercises here, like these simple, easy exercises. Because remember, the IB program has a trick to it, and that is the exams are always much harder than the material that is in the book. So to overcome this, the students always need to be working on past paper questions, and we'll get to that. But for now, we can see we have some easier book problems, and then a lot of times I have the students download this book, I pass it to them or share it on Google Drive, and they can open this, and then on my computer, of course, I open other copies, and then I'll make sure to have the answers open. So in the back of the book, there's the answer. And so I always have the answers open in front of me to make sure I get the right answer or to check the work of the student. So that's always important that you have the answers open in front of you, and the student will have the problem in front of them. And normally they don't see my laptop when I'm in class, or when I'm in online class, this is on the other screen, so they don't see that either. So there's the textbook, there's the guide, which is a very detailed format of the syllabus, or there's the subject brief as well. The subject brief is interesting because it lets us know, it's a very short summary, but it lets us know what's in there in the math class, and also it lets us know how will they be graded. So there's paper 1, 2, and 3 for higher level. Only the higher level has 3. And then the internal assessment. I'll make another video about that, or ask me if you're interested in that one. And here we see technology allowed, the calculator allowed for both paper 1 and paper 2. These are the names of the exams. And then we have the formula booklet. They get to have their formula booklet for each of the tests. So it's important that the students kind of become experts in the formula booklet as well. Then, if we want past papers, we can go to this folder. I only have the specimen paper in here now. Later I'm going to put in some of the past papers for the previous years. But we have the specimen paper, which the IB releases whenever there's a new math. And this math came out in 2020, so it's the newer one. And so this is like what their past papers will be like. Then we have material by topic. So here we have folders, and I've placed in here material for each of the topics. And also you will see here solutions. I have solved already some of the problems from the textbook, some of the past papers of a number of different things. And here is the index kind of explaining what are my solutions that I've done here. So these two files kind of go together. Then, we have my link already saved. You should need to log in. I guess it knows I'm already logged in, I suppose. And then you can click on AIHL. And a lot of times it's interesting to use the question bank because, of course, you know, they'll have a test. In school, they learn per chapter. So maybe, for example, their school teacher says, okay, test on Friday on quadratics, for example. So then you could click onto this and then go into the section that they're studying. Maybe it's this one, for example. And now we have a bunch of questions, and they're in levels of easy, medium, and hard. And of course, they have the mark scheme with a video solution, and they're organized by topic. So that's really wonderful. And so a lot of times, for example, I would do the buttons Windows Shift S, and that would allow me to take a screenshot of a certain section. And then I'll send that problem to the student either via WhatsApp desktop, email, something like that. And then they'll have the problem. But then, of course, I will open the mark scheme and I'll be looking at the answer to help check with the work or explain how to do the problem or something like that. So Revision Village is a wonderful resource. And we go to ExamMate. You will log in here. I'm already logged in, but there is the login button, and you have my login and password here. Then we would go to Topical Past Papers, IB Diploma, pick Math. Now, the ExamMate website has the past papers for all the previous years, but we're looking at the new IB Mathematics. So there's actually not a lot of past papers for AI. Sometimes I go into AA or even the old one that's just mathematics because this is the newer math, so there may not be a lot of questions here. So, but let's just see what they have today. So I'm going to pick on that. The level, let's do higher level. Papers could be a 1 or 2. There's not too much of a difference between them anymore. I normally leave that blank. And then we pick the topic. Maybe we're working on quadratics. The years, I'm going to pick the more recent years. And I don't normally worry about the season or the time zone. Search. Okay, so they only have 1 right now because it's the newer math, which is fine. So what if we wanted more than 1? Because of course we do. Then we could go to the older math. The older math was a little different, so you'll have to be careful as to what topic you're looking at because some topics were in there, some were not. But quadratics was there, coincidentally. So then if I search that one, then, well, still not too many, but we have some. So then this will give us some more practice, and it's very similar to AIHL. So these are the resources that we have for the class.